139 Main Street, I just wanted to give you an update. We're still kind of going around in circles on that one. Kevin Lacasse finally did get a bid back on shoring for the building, but the bid came back at over $200,000, which was a lot more than he was expecting. So I know Nancy's been meeting with him. We're looking at some different funding mechanisms, some different options, and hopefully we'll be back soon with maybe a little bit clearer picture. This is something that we're putting as high priority to get this finished. So. With that, I wanted to take another moment. We put out some e-blasts, some Facebook posts. We've been trying to really get the word out that tax bills are going to be late this year. We're waiting on the final school district meeting tomorrow. Once that gets done, they can submit their financials. I think it's an MS-25 to the Department of Education, which will then be pushed on to the DRA, and then we will get the tax rate back. I will assure the City Council and the rest of the citizens of Claremont that the city staff will do everything they can to get that turned around in a timely manner and get the tax bills out. And then I also wanted to reiterate that this doesn't shorten the time between the time that the tax bills come out and when the payments are due. You'll still have 30 days from the time the tax bills are mailed until the payments actually due, which will delay the payment from the beginning of January more to the end of January. With that, I wanted to just give a minute for Steve Hamilton to explain kind of what we're working on to streamline the process, and then he was going to make an introduction of a new assessor that we have working with us. So,
thank you, Mr. Morris. Thank you, Madam Mayor and councilors. We've been working carefully to make sure that once the tax rate is completed, and there is a process that will have to unfold over the next couple of days, even after the vote tomorrow evening for the school, we want to make sure that when we receive the tax rate, the tax collector and the assessing department are ready to roll as quickly as we can. So we've gone through and completed dry runs of preparing a warrant, which can be a little bit of a complicated and tricky situation. And in order to make sure that we can streamline that in the future, we want to be able to modernize some of the reports that we have in our computer systems. And I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce to you Bob McCarthy. Bob is a member of my team, and Bob recently retired from the company that produces our CAMA system, Vision Government Solutions Incorporated. And Bob is working with me, and he's helping out here in Claremont now. Bob is expert in the way that CAMA system works. We're going to be upgrading that CAMA system, and we had a really good presentation from them last week in which we saw some of the benefits of the new system. So Bob's working now, and we'll be working in the future to try and streamline the process of finalizing tax warrants to make it as efficient as we can from the assessing department end of it.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a few more things. I just wanted to update the council. I know you had a presentation last July on the rail trail upgrades, and we were putting in for a grant for that. We have received word that we have been awarded that grant. So we've received $23,150 to upgrade the rail trail, and we will be working on that project, hopefully to be doing some construction in the spring. I wanted to update the airport. There's been some really good things besides all the projects that we're doing out there. The fire chief is out there often, and he weekly has to do inspections on the fuel system and make sure that things are being done safely and properly. And I just received word last week, right before I put this out, that through the fuel system inspections that they've done, they found no deficiencies, and they've awarded the airport a certificate of operational excellence for their fuel system safety program. So really good work done by Chief Burr out there and the members of his staff. And then I wanted to update that Chief Chase and Bill Wilmot attended the CALIA conference this last month. All summer long, CALIA's been here and getting reports and just doing a lot of inspections and investigation on our police department. They did their final testimony, and I'm happy to report that the police department again received accreditation from CALEA. It's a really good thing to receive that accreditation. It just really shows that you're meeting the gold standard of policing and you're following nationally recognized policies and procedures, and it's just really good to have that. So, and with that, that's the end of my report. Thank you, Mayor.
And to follow on to that, I just want to let the council know that I received a letter from the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, or CALEA, and it basically says, we are thankful for your support of the Claremont Police Department in the pursuit of CALEA accreditation. Agencies who pursue and ultimately achieve accreditation clearly demonstrate a commitment to excellence through compliance with the associated standards. And it goes on to talk about the importance of CALEA accreditation. And it says, I would urge you to recognize and support the Claremont Police Department enrollment and participation in CALEA accreditation. The dynamic nature of the profession requires constant attention to best practices and the application of evidence-based service strategies. CALEA has institutionalized this through the use of resources while remaining sensitive to specific issues across the United States and internationally. So I just want to let the council know that we received it, and it is a feather in the department's cap that they have been recertified as a CALEA accredited organization. So at this time, are there any questions for the city manager or for the information that you received in the department reports?
Actually, I have one question.
Yes.
When we were talking about the Main Street project, what are the alternate forms of financing that you guys are looking into?
Do you want to speak to that, the 139 project and some of the possibilities we're looking at?
I was speaking with CDFA today about, shock blight, slum and blight. It's a fund that hasn't been used in a long time, and because it's a private owner and another private owner, you got to remember we don't own 139 Main Street. We're probably not eligible, so it's a lot of phone calls trying to find, somebody that could step in and support what Mr. Lacasse is trying to do. He's got to shore that building so that we can get the other one down. So if you have any suggestions, we would happily follow up.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. The next item is